What's up guys, Mr. Basie here, and today I'm going to bring you a commentary that discusses the weapons that I want personally to return in Halo 5 Guardians. Now, first I want to make the point that I've said before that they should bring back everything and just add new things. Now, the only problem that really arises with that, kind of solution is the hard drive size. I've talked about that in the past with my other commentaries, but it is highly unlikely that they're actually going to do that, so let's just talk about the weapons that I personally think should return in Halo 5 Guardians. So one of the first ones is definitely the Mauler. Now, the reason for this is I just really liked, and this is going to be a lot of, kind of competitive thinking and stuff that goes into this, the reasoning why I choose these weapons, but the Mauler in and of itself was a great competitive weapon just because of the fact that it didn't one-shot kill. Now, the shotgun's fine. I'm not dissing the shotgun. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure everybody would prefer to have a shotgun over a Mauler, but the Mauler just adds one, kind of extra step that you need to do to get the kill, overall making it just a little bit more competitive. It is a power weapon. It's definitely very strong, but it's not too strong, and I think that is kind of what I like about the Mauler, is that it's not overly powerful, and that's cool. It's a good power weapon, but it's not like a complete game changer. And if it's going to be a game changer, that's going to be up to the person using it, how good they are, how good they are at deciding what situation to use it in and when to use it and when to actually reveal that they have it. All of those things can be huge game changers, especially if it's used to actually get another power weapon. Think of an instance where, two people are going at rockets and they're right in front of each other. The other guy could be crouching there waiting for the rockets to come out, while the other guy actually runs up thinking that there's no one there, and he's going for the rockets. The guy with the Mauler will one-shot him, or not one-shot him, but knock his shield out with the first one and punch him, get really close. So the rocket guy has two choices. One, he's either going to try to stay alive and shoot the rocket too far and actually end up missing the person. In that case, the enemy team will get the rockets. Or he's going to end up killing both of them because he knows that, he's pretty much screwed at that point. So that's essentially the kind of scenario that I think would be cool. The shotgun, if you have a shotgun, you could just one-shot the person right away and boom, rockets are in your control. But the Mauler adds an extra level of difficulty, so that's why I like that gun. Now, the next one's going to be a little bit more of a social decision. For me, I didn't really like the concussion rifle in Halo Reach. And the concussion rifle, I believe, kind of replaced, not really in terms of the historical, evidence of Halo, but in terms of gameplay-wise, the concussion rifle kind of replaced the brute shot. Now, I was a big fan of the brute shot because, again, it was one of those guns that was, first of all, it was just fun to use. I really liked using the brute shot back in Halo 3. And overall, it wasn't crazy powerful. That's another, again, it's something that I really value in a weapon. A power weapon, that it can be balanced, and I think the brute shot was definitely balanced. People could put a couple shots with a brute shot and finish them off with a BR, or maybe rush them with a brute shot. Just waste the whole clip on them, because you had a lot of bullets in a brute shot, if I'm not mistaken, about 2 clips worth. But it didn't take. It took a lot of bullets to kill somebody. So a few brute shot rounds was not going to drop somebody. You really had to make sure you'd able to pin them against the wall and just lay into them. So the brute shot for me was first of all very fun to use. Second of all, it could be used in an assistant kind of, or like a supportive kind of role. And third of all, in terms of the amount of ammo that it actually had, it was very reasonable for how that gun performs. And of course, it had a slight amount of splash damage. So if you were shooting into a big group of people, you could actually do quite a lot of damage to a bunch of people, which is it's a good thing. It's a nice little alternative to rockets. But the next one is a much better alternative to rockets, and probably the gun that, out of everything that I'm going to talk about today, is what I desire the most to have back in Halo 5 Guardians. And I believe I'm definitely with a bunch of people when I say this: the grenade launcher. Okay, I really loved the Pro Pipe. Okay, only in Halo can a noob tube be called a Pro Pipe. All right, guys. So I really loved the grenade launcher. Probably one of the most fun weapons to use in a Halo game. First of all, let's just talk about the fun factor of that gun. First of all, It is hilarious to use. You can use it in a multitude of different ways. You can use it as a proximity mine. You could use it as a, insta detonation. You could use it as like a Hail Mary kind of thing. I always love doing that across map, just Hail Mary in it, because you never know what you were going to get. Like, it could just be the craziest play ever. It's kind of like a modern version of what people used to do with sticky grenades back in Halo 2. Of course, that was always pretty technical and, definitely cool to watch. That's kind of what it reminded me of, that launch across the map and then boom, an explosion out of nowhere and you just get a kill. And I always thought that was really cool. So the grenade launcher for me in terms of fun factor, definitely, hands down, the most fun gun that I ever used in a Halo game. Or in terms of non-sniper rifle or BR weapons, for like a weird offhand power weapon, that's definitely it. I really love the grenade launcher. Now, second of all, it had a very high, not really super high, but it was definitely, it took a while to learn. It wasn't the easiest gun to use. You really had to, there was a lot of prediction involved with that gun in terms of where people were going to be, leading your shot correctly, because it didn't move very fast. So in terms of the competitive implementation to that gun, I really prefer it over a lot of other competitive implementations. As a matter of fact, I think that the grenade launcher, even though the rockets are like the classic power weapon for Halo Reach, or for Halo in general, along with the sniper rifle, I just think that the grenade launcher played a little bit better because it's not as easy to use. Not a lot of people can be good with it, especially when you talk about the insta-splosion. You know what I mean? When it comes down to damaging a person, sure, a lot of people can do that. It's not that difficult. But when it comes down to getting a one-hit kill with it, which is, albeit very difficult, because you have to, first of all, you have to make sure it explodes very close to the person, so your depth perception cannot be off. Second of all, it's very hard to lead the shot, especially at a distance. Close up, maybe not so much, but still, it's not like the rockets where you can just shoot it at the ground or a wall and you can just trust the splash damage. With this one, the splash damage isn't very significant, so you have to be pretty darn precise with the little grenade. So it was definitely a very fun gun. It was a very competitively sound gun. It was balanced. Didn't have that many rounds in it in a competitive setting. I believe it was like 3 or 4, something like that. So it was a game changer. It was something that could be used and implemented in a positive way, but it wasn't crazy overpowered. Like, a rocket launcher isn't, I wouldn't say overpowered, because you don't get many shots in it to begin with, but it is a very powerful weapon, and that is a bigger game changer than the grenade launcher. But it definitely does not have the the difficulty level of use or mastery that the grenade launcher has. So I really, really like the grenade launcher. It was such a fun gun to use. Really, it was. I think a lot of people can definitely agree with me when I say that. So overall, that is the gun that I really want to return above everything else, and I hope that they do. I'm still standing behind bringing everything back, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm standing behind that strongly, but if they're going to bring anything back, please let it be that. That's really what I want them to bring back. So next is the fusion rifle. Now, a lot of people will probably disagree with me with this, but I thought it was a very good, kind of, offhand sniper rifle / beam rifle kind of thing. Because of the fact that it wasn't crazy powerful. It was really used as a supportive weapon, you know what I mean? I don't know how good it would be. Well, actually, it would be very good for long-range fighting, because you could really keep people out of their scopes. But, the fusion rifle, or as I like to call it, the alligator gun, or a bunch of people call it the alligator gun, assist machine, whatever it is, it was very, very useful, okay? And a lot of people don't like it as much as the beam rifle, myself included. I really don't like it as much as the beam rifle, but it's a nice non-powerful power weapon. You know what I mean? It's a good supportive weapon, much like the Sentinel beam. It's kind of like a Sentinel beam with a scope on it. Speaking of Sentinel beam, I won't talk too much about that because it's already in Halo 2 Anniversary, but I do want it to carry over into Halo 5. The Sentinel beam is a fantastic weapon for supportive roles and just for general fun use. You can do a lot of things with the Sentinel beam that's just really fun and hilarious, and it's definitely an aggravating gun if you keep getting killed by it, or you really getting hammered by it long range. But the fusion rifle for bigger maps I think would fit better than the fusion rifle. Kind of performs the same way, but it has a scope. So I think that gun would be cool to come back. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not strictly talking competitive. I'm just talking overall what should come back, what's fun to use, and all that stuff. And in terms of fun factor, and I'm also thinking about the competitive use of the weapon, the fusion rifle should come back. I do think it should come back First of all, it was really fun to use. In public match, it was fun to use. It was hilarious. People would get mad. Not really because it's super powerful, but just because when D-Scope is enabled, in the, like in Halo 2 Anniversary, in Halo Reach, in Halo 5 Guardians, when D-Scope is enabled, it's going to be something that is very instrumental long range. It's going to keep people out of scope a lot because it's a consistent weapon. It fires consistently. There is no break in shots unless the person starts missing. So those are the guns that I really want to come back. I probably missed a few over the course of time. I was going to say the needle rifle from Halo Reach, but I just don't know if that would really have a place. I mean, it should come back regardless because, again, I don't think that any gun or any map or anything should be taken out completely. I mean, there's a few exceptions that, naturally, but when it comes to weapons, I feel like weapons are something that never should be taken out. Plasma repeater from Reach, I believe that's I'm calling that right. Plasma repeater from Reach, the needle rifle from Reach. They really don't have places in the new updated games, but they should still be in the game for people to use. It really doesn't make sense to have it taken out, but that's a commentary that I've already done before. If you want to check that commentary out, I'll link it in the description and probably in the outro as well, just for your ease of access. So either way, guys, rate the video what you think it deserved. Drop down in the comments what you think about everything that I just said, and if you have a preferred weapon that isn't what I said, or kind of is what I said but for different reasons, let me know down in the comments below why you think you want it back, or why you think you'd like it back, and what aspects of that gun really appealed to you. Either way, guys, this has been Mr. Basie, your favorite sage, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.